It's my honor and pleasure to introduce Bill Belichick.
My basic philosophy is making decisions that are right for the New England Patriots, not my decisions, but the right decisions. I expect that our football team's going to win.
Hey! Oh, we're champs! We're champions!
I've never coached a team where I've walked out there feeling like we don't have a chance to win. The fans are going to judge me and judge our football team by what we do. This is no one-man band here. I can't play all the instruments.
He runs everything with the New England Patriots.
This Patriots team is broken.
Belichick has this team living in the past.
The whole dynasty is based on luck.
Bill Belichick, the GM, is getting in the way of Belichick, the head coach.
Robert Kraft open to firing Belichick.
How can you feel confident about this going forward? How is this going to end?
Now you almost have to make a decision.
Mac Jones, see ya. In regards to talent, put the Patriots dead last.
This is about Bill Belichick today, and I'd like to focus on that.
Oh boy, and we are certainly going to be focusing on that all day today, all week and beyond. Welcome into a brand new hour of CBS Sports HQ presented by Geico. I'm Jacqueline D'Agostino alongside Tommy Tran. Man, Tommy, it has been probably the most wild 24 hours in coaching history, not only in the NFL, but the college level as well. First, it was Pete Carroll, which feels like an eternity ago at this point. Nick Saban retires, and then, of course, the big news breaking today, Bill Belichick leaving the New England Patriots. It's crazy just saying that out loud.
So in totality, we got a couple of 72-year-olds. You throw in a 71-year-old having, their long-term jobs come to an end. And the hoodie news breaking early this morning. West Coasters still asleep when this all goes down. My personal favorite, though, we're seeing throwbacks of Saban and Belichick on the Browns staff in the early 1990s. I think we have that coming up later in the show. But let's run the numbers on Bill Belichick and the stats that it's lengthy and distinguished. 6 Super Bowl wins. That's the most among head coaches in NFL history. His 302 career wins, third most among head coaches all time, trailing just Hallis and Shula. He had that great run with the Patriots from 2000 to 2023. And here's Bill Belichick from earlier today in a joint presser with Pat's owner, Robert Kraft.
Robert and I, after a series of discussions, have mutually agreed to part ways. And for me, this is a day of gratitude and celebration. Start with Robert and his family. It's great. So much thanks for the opportunity to be the head coach here for 24 years. It's an amazing opportunity. Received tremendous support. We had a vision of building a winner, building a championship football team here, and that's exceeded my wildest dreams and expectations. The amount of success that we were able to achieve together, through a lot of hard work and contributions of so many people. So I'm very proud of that, and I always have those great memories. I'll carry with those with me the rest of my life. And of course, after Robert, thanks to the assistant coaches. I've had so many great coaches here. They've made my job so much easier. It's a long list, but the amount of work, preparation, and diligence that they do, every one of them. And I say this about the players and the coaches, regardless of how long they were here, how many years they were here, how many years they coached, or what the position was. It was a great team effort, and everybody, put everything they had into it. And that's why we were successful. So for the coaches, the support staff, it's an amazing staff here that supported me in every way.
That was earlier this afternoon in Foxborough, and boy, take a look at this graphic. A couple of GOATs, one in the NFL, one in college football. Seasons are nice, wins, of course, are nice as well, but tie-breaking conversations usually go with titles, and for Bill Belichick, 6 Super Bowl titles, and for Nick Saban, 7, 6 of those 7 in Tuscaloosa. All right, to help us break down what we've experienced the last 24 hours, we got Danny Cannell and Lige Douzable here in CBS Sports HQ. DK, I'm going to give you first word because not even 12 hours after Nick Saban calls it a career, we have Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, and the Patriots parting ways.
Bombshells over the last 24 hours. I mean, it's pretty wild that we get one of these coaches, legendary, GOAT status in their respective sports. I also wonder if they discuss this decision together. They're really tight. who else do you have to lean on that knows exactly what you're going through and the decision-making process, similar philosophies, all of that. The loss is college football and the NFL. You know, I mean, these are icons of the sport. Sure, we can always replace them, and somebody else will come along to replace them. There'll be another. I don't know if maybe there won't be.
I was going to say.
But eventually, I mean, kind of time. You know, who knows how long it takes? But these are legends of the game. So it's bittersweet as a sports fan, as a college football fan, as an NFL fan, to see them both send off, and we'll see what the next chapter holds for each one of them. And I'm sure we'll discuss that, but it's bittersweet. You know, you have to celebrate the success, as Belichick was saying. You know, and it's an incredible run for both of them.
We all know Father Time is undefeated. Like, time waits for no man. But I don't think I would ever imagine a day where I wouldn't see Nick Saban as a college football head coach, or Bill Belichick, the hoodie on the sideline, especially being a Jet player as myself. We had some battles against the New England Patriots. To your point, DK, this is the end of an era, right? You can even throw Pete Carroll in that discussion as well, being with the Seattle Seahawks for as long as he was, and then the success he had at SC. These were some of the coaches when we were playing, like, we played against. So, like it's bittersweet to see this greatness, you know, parting ways, and ultimately Nick Saban retiring from the University of Alabama. It's a tough day in college football and in the NFL, but it's also a day for praise for what these men have done and what they've added to this sport that we all love.
Lige, we were on set during Pete Carroll's press conference, and that felt like huge news, and it is. But if I could imagine we were sitting here within 24 hours talking about these guys, I really wouldn't have believed you. We showed the graphic with their successes: 6 Super Bowls for Bill Belichick, 7 titles for Saban, 6 of those coming from Bama. It's hard to compare. It almost seems like apples and oranges. But if you had to, I mean, which one do you think is more legendary career? I don't know. It's tough.
It's really, really close, DK. But I'm going to go with Nick Saban, because when you look at it, right, when you look at Bill Belichick's record as a head coach before he got to New England, he muddled around 500. But if you look at Nick Saban, right, not only did he win 6 championships with Alabama, let's not forget he had a championship with LSU. So he's been able to accomplish the highest of the highs in college football, not just at one team, DK, but another team at LSU. So it's close. And like you said, Jacqueline, it's hard to compare these two. They're both GOATs in their own right. I'm going to lead towards Nick Saban, though.
I could not disagree more.
Oh, boo.
I think if Bill Belichick had 3 Super Bowls, he would be more impressive what he's done.
Really?
Because of where he's coaching. Nick Saban, and this is changing rapidly, which I do think is one of the reasons why Nick Saban decided to hang it up when he was. Nick Saban, when you coach in college and you coach at LSU or Bama, the places that he's had success, 95% of the time, maybe 98% of the time, you have mismatches. You have an advantage on your side of the ball because your roster is built up better than the opponent's roster. In the NFL, it is built for parity. It is built to tear down Super Bowl teams and spread them out so that all 32 teams have a chance. Do you guys realize 17 years Nick Saban is the head coach at Alabama? They've only been underdogs 13 times.
I saw that, yep.
So the odds makers are recognizing this, and it doesn't diminish what he's done. It's been phenomenal. I don't think we'll ever see it, especially with the changes to the game. But I do think it's easier to coach when you have an edge every time you step on the field.
Well, I'll push back on that, because you know what the biggest edge is? Tom Brady. That's who Bill Belichick had. The greatest quarterback of all time. Now, again, a lot of respect for what Bill Belichick did, especially those first 2 Super Bowls, because Tom Brady was more of a game manager then. But then after that, the Tom Brady effect took hold. So no matter who was on the roster, and we always talked about Bill Belichick, the GM, and him being a little deficient in that area. But when you have a guy like Tom Brady at quarterback, you have a chance year in and year out. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying about Nick Saban and Alabama, the way their team is constructed. They're going to have a shot. Well, anytime you have Tom Brady on your roster, you have a shot. And a crazy stat for you guys, like, if you played 4 years at Alabama when Nick Saban was there, you won a ring.
Championship.
You won a national championship. That's astronomical to even think about. So that's why I think I give the edge to Nick Saban, just because, let's be honest, Bill Belichick kind of lucked up on Tom Brady. When you go in the 6th round, you're not expected to be the quarterback of the franchise for the future. They lucked up and got Tom Brady, and they were able to get 4 more rings because of that.
Does Tom Brady play defense?
I was going to say.
He doesn't. But
isn't a coach responsible for both sides of the ball?
He is, but when you have Tom Brady, no matter if your defense has an off day, you have a chance to win that game.
2 things. There's that Browns retro video I was talking about? With Jordan a little bit. It just looks
That's
so
kinda
good
cool,
with him
yeah.
saving the glasses. Two, though, you mentioned an edge, and I'm curious then how close it is, because I mentioned how titles are sort of a differentiator in terms of debates and conversations. Because Bill Belichick's not retiring, he's just leaving the Patriots. So if he goes wins another ring to get 7 to match Saban, does that change your mind at all with a different quarterback not named Tom Brady?
It definitely does, but Tommy, has he proven he could do that?
Not
when
yet.
he was
No,
at Cleveland,
correct.
he
Up
couldn't
till
do
now,
it.
yeah.
When Tom Brady wasn't there and he had Mac Jones, he couldn't do it. Now, again, to give the respect to Bill Belichick, this is one of the greatest defensive minds we've ever seen. And I said, when everybody talks about the Patriot way, is it Bill Belichick, Tom Brady? You got to give Bill Belichick some respect, because those first couple of years, like I said, that team was led by its defense. Like they won those championships, those first 2 championships, led by the defense. I just haven't seen him be able to develop a young quarterback. And if you look at a lot of these head coaching jobs, besides the Chargers, you're going to need a rookie quarterback, most likely if somebody's getting drafted. Can he develop that young quarterback and go on that run? We saw when Tom Brady left, what happened the first year? Super Bowl ring in Tampa Bay. So, Tommy, if he does it, yes, this conversation opens up again. I think it's a lot closer, but right now I lean towards Nick Saban.
I'll give you one more point for your side.
Oh, okay.
I refuse to back down from my stance. The one thing that I think Nick Saban has done better than Bill Belichick is evolve.
Yes, that's true.
As a philosophy, both X's and O's, and how you handle players. Early in the Bama dynasty, he was winning with defense that was suffocating and an offense that was more game manager at quarterback.
Correct.
Let's run the football. And then as he saw college football changing, the rules changing, all of a sudden he hired Lane Kiffin. He hired like a great list of offensive coordinators, opened it up offensively, and then defensively, look at the personnel, longer, faster to defend today's college football player. And I do think he evolved better relating to players. 17 years is a lifetime.
Man.
Players' mindsets change. And if you listen to players talk about the Patriot way, Bill Belichick has never changed.
Yeah.
And I think it rubs a lot of players the wrong way. Even players that won Super Bowls were like, it wasn't that much fun.
Yeah, and that's my concern, Tommy, when you talk about him potentially going anywhere, is the Patriot way or the Bill Belichick way conducive to the current NFL style? Like, will he be able to have that success somewhere else? Only time will see. We'll see where he ends up going. But I think it's going to be hard-pressed. If he doesn't change and evolve with the NFL, he's going to struggle wherever he goes.
And that'll be up to him. And again, Bill Belichick still has at least one more chapter to be written in his book right now. A lot of people, including our NFL insider Jonathan Jones, saying the Falcons, among the other 7 head coaching vacancies, could right now be the lead candidate. Danny, what do you think about the potential Belichick-Falcons marriage?
I was kind of surprised by it.
Yeah, me too.
I know later in the show we're going to go over some of the top job openings. I would not put the Falcons at the top of that list. And if we're talking about one of the greatest coaches ever, shouldn't he be able to select where he wants to go? And in large part, it's because of the uncertainty at quarterback.
Yep.
And, we already know Justin Herbert is there entrenched as the guy in L.A. for the Chargers. That, to me, seems like the best fit. And to your point about without Brady, he's drafted Mac Jones. That development wasn't great. Like, how is he going to be with a young quarterback? Is he going to try to find, another Tom Brady? Is he going to evolve and have more of a dual threat quarterback? Yeah. I don't know. So I was a little bit surprised to see that. Now, the roster itself isn't bad. And they've got some pieces there that could definitely win. So maybe that comes into play as well.
Yeah, I'm with you, Danny. To me, the Falcons don't make a lot of sense, right? Arthur Smith was there, never got the best out of Kyle Pitts or Bijan Robinson. We know that Bill Belichick is a defensive-minded coach. The Falcons' defense was actually pretty good this year. I believe they were a top 10 defense, so they're not really suffering on that side of the ball. The one thing I will say, the AFC South or NFC South is one of the worst divisions in football, so maybe it makes a lot of sense for him to go there. But what I always said was, will he be able to develop that quarterback? I believe the Falcons have the number 7 pick. So thinking about it, you're probably going to miss out on Drake May. You're probably going to miss out on Caleb Williams. Probably Jaden Daniels, too. So Michael Penix comes into place. Do they trust Bill Belichick to develop that young quarterback or to bring in the right offensive staff to develop that young quarterback is the question.
You bring up a great point, though. And I can't wrap my mind around Bill Belichick including this in the decision. Yeah. But it is a much more winnable division.
Exactly.
You're going to make the playoffs. Like, you're telling me you're going to go to L.A. and have to go through Patrick Mahomes twice.
Tough.
It's an easier path. Again, mindset of a champion, I don't think says that at all. But maybe they don't worry about having a quarterback either. Maybe it's, there's a lot that goes into this decision.
Yeah, and you think he wants to go somewhere where he can win right now, rack up those wins, make that record. Certainly going to be interesting to see what happens with Bill Belichick. DK Lige joining us here as we are playing matchmaker with where Bill Belichick might end up. The guys are sticking around because we are ranking some of those vacancies. But in the meantime, NFL on CBS continues. We got you covered for the Steelers and the Bills. We have a crew heading up there, Tommy, and they were just talking about scarves and gloves and hats and all the warm things.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be cold. I love it.
It's going to be cold. Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern on CBS. And, of course, you can watch it on Paramount Plus as well. All right, DK and Lige, they are sticking around because we are ranking the available head coaching vacancies that are out there right now in the NFL. Who lands at number 1? That's coming up on the other side.